Coach, how transfer over to a game week? How was the first day, I guess, today? And you have to see a different energy level, right?
It is. There's a lot of excitement. You can sense it with the guys all last week as well. And getting them out on the field today, knowing this is game week, there's definitely excitement with the guys. There's an eagerness, wanting to learn the scheme we're going up against. And so it's funny, this is our first time kind of going through a game prep with them. Going through a defense, what we're asking them to do against this defense. And so it's fun. It's a learning experience for all of us. We had our mock game yesterday and went really well, but just talking about how we're going to take the sideline, just little things you take for granted, but being year one and just making sure everybody's on the same page with it.
At this point, your coaches get anxious to get the game. It's been a long time and a lot of talking. You're anxious to get out there and see what you have, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. You're very excited about, just getting out there and going up against an opponent. Seeing the guys compete. That's one thing we've always, that we've talked about from day one. That's why Coach Satterfield is, every year that I've been with them, it's always about the effort that a kid can give, the effort that us coaches can give. And, it's seeing that on a Saturday night, on a Monday night for this first game. Just seeing those guys go out there and play with that passion that we're trying to bring out of them, and that they're doing a great job with.
You talk about the details that you guys talked about in that mock game. How important is that to know which sideline, how many people come on the field?
It's huge. We talk about our pregame adjustments that we'll make, where we'll meet with them inside, and so you got to kind of have a dry run through it so guys know where to be, what to expect. You don't want it to be any surprises on game day when you want those guys to have free minds and just where they can go out and play. And so trying to go over everything, explain everything to them, like, this is where we go, this is where you will sit, this is where we'll stand, because you can't take it for granted. And just, when we go into the locker room, this is what you expect. We'll be here, we'll come back up here, make adjustments, now we'll come back up. And so just all those little things, making sure that everybody's on the same page.
Dwayne, I think the coach said you'll be down with him on the field.
Oh, absolutely.
How important is positioning in that and having somebody upstairs that you can count on?
We got a great coaching staff. We've all been together. I've been with, Coach Ponce, Coach Sapp for a really long time, Coach Cardwell, Coach Holt, Coach Thomas. We all know what we're looking for and what we're looking to try to get. And so for me, I love being on the sidelines with the guys. I want to feel the energy of the offensive line. I want to see how they're playing. One of the first things I'll do is just stand on the line of scrimmage and try to make sure we're coming off the ball. Just that one simple thing, but just making sure that I see us trying to come off the ball, playing on the other side of the ball. And, so that's something I always want to try to do, and seeing it from their perspective on the field with what they're seeing defensively.
Have you ever been in the booth in the past, and if so, did you miss being on the field with your guys?
When I was a graduate assistant, I was in the booth, and it's pretty fun up there. You see everything. But I like the energy that you get on the field. I like to be able to see the players. It's a lot of times, sometimes, we ask these guys to do a lot. And sometimes you need to sit down and kind of talk to them and show them, just get them to relax, calm down, because, these are still college kids, and so their emotions can get to them, the excitement. And so it's also part of our job to, when they come over on the sideline, we can take a deep breath. We can gather the information we're trying to give them, and now let's go back out and execute. And so that's another part of it.
Satterfield had said yesterday that obviously there's times where Juwan looks really, really great.
Yes.
Sometimes his footwork is off. When he's playing well, you guys, what does he add to this offense?
He's got all the tools, and when he's clicking, everything's clicking. And there's been so much growth. What Coach Ponce has done with Puma, and just seeing his growth from, I remember our first spring practice of just somebody that really didn't say much and didn't, just kind of have that demeanor, that kind of swagger to him about being a quarterback to go out and lead an offense. So now you totally see that with the guys. And so just seeing that growth with him has been phenomenal. Seeing him going out there and having fun, talking to the offensive line, talking to the backs, the relationship he has with the receivers. His growth has been phenomenal from spring to where we are today.
You mentioned he found out around the same time we did. Were you in on that meeting, or kind of just what was? You were there. What was it like?
You know, it's because anytime I think when a kid first finds that out, I think there's that excitement because you know that's something big to be able to go out, being named the starter, and to go out and that first game, Monday Night Football, and so the excitement and obviously just letting them know, hey, we're all gathered around you. Let's all pull together. Let's go and make this thing work now. And I think that's huge for it.
Feel pretty good about the line that you have, and have they kind of meshed? You talked a couple weeks ago about trying to get a 5 and then get guys behind them.
Yeah.
Do you feel good?
I do. You know, the depth is something that we'll continue to work on from start of camp all the way till the end. But you know, I think those 5 guys are playing really well. I think they're doing. You see them making a lot of strides from where we were in the spring, and I'm excited to see them go out and play against somebody else. You know, I think that. You know, we'll have some guys that you'll see line up at multiple positions at times, like that number 6 or that number 7 offensive lineman. But he'll be able to come in and play multiple positions with it. But, you know, the 3 things I talked to those, you guys heard me about it. Play fast, speed off the ball, toughness, finish. We'll get all that other stuff worked out. And to me, I wish we had another fall camp just to keep working with these guys. But we're ready to get into the season now so we can start doing these game preps, seeing these guys go out and play against somebody else now.
What has Tyler brought to that line with his toughness and obviously being named captain for the first game is a big deal for him?
I think it's his work ethic and just, you know, we did something through fall camp where we called it a card tape, and what we're trying to do is show just great examples of guys giving great effort. And Tyler was a guy that kept showing up on it routinely of downfield blocks, those extra blocks. You know, going the extra distance to try to get to a block. And just when guys see that as a group and just how hard he plays, and I think to me, first and foremost, that's one of the most important things is just the effort that he goes out and plays with. And everything that he's ever done, he's went out and he's earned it. And I think it's a great story for everybody on this team and everybody around here. And so I'm very thankful to have him in that room, and just every day he sets the example for us on the effort that is required up front.
But I know Brian Brown's on the opposite side of the ball of you, but just what stands out about him when you're kind of hanging out with him or even going against defense?
You know, Coach Brown is his knowledge, his enthusiasm, the way he gets his guys to play for him. That's always fun to watch. We both got to App State at the same year. And, you know, he's like a brother to me, and then just seeing him with those guys, man, and see how he rallies those guys, how hard they play for him. And to me, that's really fun to see. I think he brings the most out of those guys.
Coach Said had talked about when he got here, it's hard for a grad transfer, maybe even harder for a center in TJ. How much has he progressed? And he kind of talked last week about it. You know, TJ has really come a long way.
He has. He has. You know, because you're asking, that guy does so much for us. And to be able to come in and really just grab a hold of this offense, and a guy that has to go out and make all the calls for us, get everybody on the same page, because it's hard, it's difficult. Because, I mean, you're coming in also trying to earn the respect of your teammates and also develop this relationship with all these other guys. And I think what he's done has been really, really good.
When you mentioned the emotions in this first game, Puma said they watched the weekend games and learned from that. What were you all talking to him about that?
We just showed them like the correct way to be able to harness the emotions you have and not getting the bad penalties that you see. You know, you make a play, go celebrate with your teammates. Let's not make it about an individual and get a penalty. Let's go celebrate with our teammates and things of that nature. And we also showed the play from Hawaii where the D tackle ran down the quarterback just as an effort play, never giving up on a play, and how that sealed the game for them. And just showing those examples that, you know, we'll try to do that throughout the whole season, the good examples try to use like that.
How nice was it to have week 0 games that you could actually show before y'all went at it?
It was good. You know, I got down in the basement, but the thing about it was, I mean, my mind is just those guys that I'm coaching. I had this Band of Brothers logo put in my basement, and I was just looking at it. I was like, man, it's almost here now. It's about a week away. and there's still so much growing, so much developing you want to do with these guys, and it's just the process. The process of it's just so fun, and that's the joy of this thing.
The running
unknown of the offense in terms of, like Brian Kelly had mentioned, he doesn't know what to expect from you guys yet. Do you think that's an advantage for you guys offensively?
You know, I think that what we just got to do is just get our guys, obviously knowing what to do. I think they know our expectation now, and now it's going out and executing that and playing fast. And that's our whole thing. We want to play fast, man. Play fast and play with great effort. Be something to where when people are watching that, they know that, they see that, and they know that it's going to be there that whole game with it.
Running game's so important to get something going. And Coach talked yesterday about, a hot hand kind of thing, but do you think we'll see multiple guys early on until how does he like to do it? Until you find a hot hand, you got to see a couple guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we got a deep group in the running backs, and I think all those guys will be getting some touches, and there will be at times you'll see a guy kind of breaking off a couple of good runs, and it will kind of get that hot hand, and you'll go with that guy for a couple of series. But I think that's a room that I'm excited to get out here on the field, that's for sure. Just the way they've competed all through fall camp.
We've heard a lot about Hassan, but Javion is, Coach even mentioned it yesterday. How would you explain what kind of his style?
He's got his demeanor and just the way he plays. He's a very physical back, and he's got great demeanor to him. When the ball's in his hand, he expects of himself to go make a play, and that's awesome to see back there. But it's not only that; it's in the protection. It's like he's got something to prove every time, with the ball in his hand or without it. And I just love the way he plays.